Hey guys, this is Nick, and this is your next gaming news. Top of the list today is Sony's expecting to have a lot more units than we anticipated coming out by the end of the year. They initially were going to have 5 million units of PS5s ready. Now they're expecting to have 10. The initial shipment is going to be 5 million, and then they're going to push forward by the end of December and have roughly 10 million out on the market. Now, I wouldn't take this as an indicator that you can basically not do your pre-order or not look for it early on. I would continue to start checking your retailers pretty constantly and start looking online at any of your online markets. And the reason I would do that is basically because you know scalpers are going to try to buy these up and they're going to try to sell them at a markup. And if you don't go ahead and get one, you may run into problems being able to get a hold of one anyway. So, with that said, let's go ahead and move into our next topic, which is Microsoft touting their Velocity architecture. This is basically meant to speed up performance in a few ways. It's supposed to have dedicated hardware inside the new consoles in order to help pre-process stuff before it goes to the CPU to speed that along with the sampler feedback streaming, which is supposed to basically help load on the graphical processor, meaning it only sends assets to it as it needs it. It doesn't send everything all at one time and try to resolve it the old way. It sends things on a need-by-need basis. So that should help lower some overhead on the system graphically. Now, the next thing that they also mentioned was their own custom NVMe SSD, which is, as you know, a chip-based SSD, much like the Sony model is doing. They have their own proprietary version. This is supposedly like 40 times faster than the Xbox One. So that should automatically give you some performance boost going from the Xbox One to the Series X itself. So that being said about the architecture and everything like that, let's go ahead and take a look at what they showed with it now. So it looks like Microsoft is kind of coming out swinging with all this. It's good to see that they're trying to basically take on Sony rather than just kind of holding back. And hopefully this will give them a little bit of goodwill moving forward as we start looking at their July 23rd push, where they're going to mention more IPs and hopefully the price point of the game and what's going to be offered at launch. And maybe give us a date that we can pre-order as well. Unfortunately, they also seem to be making a few mistakes, at least in my opinion. And you kind of knew this was coming because this has been Microsoft this whole year. They've been doing this on and off all year. It's just been a wreck. They started being really cagey about answering questions about how this new architecture was going to work with the Xbox One. And it seems like our answer is pretty well known in the fact that they just discontinued it. No joke. Multiple retailers, not just Amazon, which they're trying to say Amazon's stock is just not handled properly, which I find kind of ludicrous. Amazon's probably more on top of that than anybody. And other retailers have also mentioned the same thing, that this is no longer an item they can restock. So whatever they have is what they have. So you're basically going to be dealing with the Lockhart system and the main Series X itself moving forward as your two options. The Xbox One is not going to be an option for you anymore to be able to purchase after what they have in stock is out. So if you want one, you need to go ahead and get one. I'm assuming that's how they were going to handle the disparity of the new architecture and how it was going to work with Xbox One, is they just flat out just discontinued it, so anybody moving forward or needing to do a replacement of a console or wanting to get into the Microsoft console market would buy one of these that can support the new architecture. Now, what they're going to do with the PC, They can't discontinue that. That is what it is. So I don't know if they're going to do a mix of cloud delivery for processing, having it go through their Xbox Series X units that they have in the cloud, or if they're just going to find some other mechanism or just let PC users try to optimize it for PC. That I don't know. So the next thing is even more news on Microsoft. Man, this started out as a slow news week and it got crazy fast. They're launching their game streaming service in September. And the reason we know it's in September is they did a controller that they worked with 8-Bit on that comes out September 21st. And they're indicating that that's going to launch in tandem with this new service. So Project Xcloud, which you probably heard me talk about in the past, is now going to be officially renamed Xbox Cloud moving forward come September. Anyone that has the Ultimate Game Pass, which is the $15 a month option for Game Pass, not the $10 option that a lot of people probably have, will include the ability to stream your games anywhere. Now, they're going to have a list of roughly about 100 games that they're going to have included at launch with this thing. Now, you won't have to have this one 8-bit controller to make it work. It'll work with pretty much any controller that you can hook up to your phone or anything of that nature. The 8-bit controller is pretty nice. I've probably put up an image of it over here. If not, I'll put one up so you can see it. It does have the little clamp on it so that you can actually hook your phone up to it and hold the actual controller. So from that aspect, it looks like another very solid controller from 8-Bit. I'm a big fan of theirs. I think they make good controllers. I've had good luck with them in the past. So you could do worse than picking up that controller if you're intending on taking your games on the go. And that's one of the things they're really touting with this service is you can start playing it on the Series X, you can transfer it to your phone, you can transfer it to your tablet, and then you can transfer it right back to your console. And it should be seamless. That's what they say you're paying for with that. Now, if you already have Game Pass, I would personally probably just pay the extra $5 and get the Ultimate Game Pass if you think at all you would play your games remotely. I think it would be worth it, and given the fact that they're going to have, like they said, 100 titles or more at launch, it looks to be a solid option if you're in the market for that kind of feature. Now, the next thing that we've got is... this one's just funny to me. Riot Games, who's the maker of Valorant, has been very busy monetizing their game. Their latest thing is a gun skin that's going to set you back about $100. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. That's a cosmetic only skin, and I'll admit, I love this gun skin. And the fact that it's a cranky little dragon that's shooting fire at people and just kind of grab the clip, he's like, man, that's mine, is just adorable. But there is no way I would pay $100 for this. Now, if I was playing Valorant and I was really into it, if this was like, say, 10, I might buy it. I might just snap it up and just enjoy my new gun. But for a single gun skin, now mind you, it works for your pistols, it works for your long guns like your snipers, and it works for your knife and everything like that. So it's kind of multiple skins. Still does not make it worth $100. Not in the least. So in my opinion, this is not a good value for your money, but I thought it was funny and I thought the skin looked great. So I thought it was worth at least showing to you guys. The next thing that's really come to notice this week is Watch Dogs Legion is really struggling with optimization on the PC. So if you have been a PC advocate of Watch Dogs in the past, you probably know they've had a bit of optimization issues. This one's no exception. This one's actually worse. They tested it on a 2080 Ti. That is still currently the top end graphics card on the market, to my knowledge. And it's barely running 1080p at 60 frames a second, if that tells you anything. So this game is heavily struggling with optimization on the PC. So if you want to play this day one, I would probably recommend it on console unless they finish tweaking the optimization by the time it launches. Keep in mind, most people are playing this. This is a relatively early build of the game. So they still have some time to try to tweak it and optimize it. My understanding is they've not been great about optimizing this stuff for PC. So you may still have a rough go of it. I don't know for sure. But it may be one you may want to keep in the back of your head. Maybe I get this on console. The next thing is the Avengers Beta is coming soon. Very, very soon. PlayStation 4 users will get early access to it between August 7th and August 14th. August 7th if you pre-ordered on the PS4, and August 14th if you did not. At a later date, which I do not know the date, I apologize, it will come out on PC and Xbox so that you will be able to play it there. I'm very curious about this, primarily because they've had a really good pedigree in the past. I very rarely have ever heard of Square making something that was considered bad in any respect. So more than likely, you're going to have a good experience with this game if you're into the content that they're bringing to the party. At worst, it's going to be a little generic. Who knows? I don't know. That's why I want to try the beta. So I'm hopeful that's going to be good. That'll give you some idea of some dates for it if you're interested in it at all. The next thing is, and this is just something of fun that I found. This is not an official release, keep in mind. A guy named Michael Resnor has a YouTube channel where he does a lot of various different upscaling work on older video games and things of that nature. Well, one of the things that he did is he actually got Diablo 2 working in full 4K. Keep in mind, this game only ran at most, and this was after Lords of Destruction, at 800 by 600 back in the day. It is almost intolerable to play now because it's too small of a resolution, and then if you stretch it, you almost can't tell what anything is. It's almost like playing Atari again. It's pretty bad. So this is very, very interesting. So go ahead and have a quick look. Blizzard could do way worse than basically giving this guy some money to upscale Diablo 2 for them. That's still rumored to be coming out. I've heard nothing but more and more rumors that that's going to be coming out this year. That there's going to be a re-release of Diablo 2 this year. But with their track record with Warcraft 3 and to a lesser extent WoW Classic, where they basically shut their project down and took it on themselves and then made it into another service for you to be able to subscribe to, which I'm told is quite good. I have not had a desire to go back to WoW, so I have avoided it thus far. If they don't do that and this gets a release, this would be something to keep your eye out on for. If they're smart, they will give him a truckload of money or two and bring him onto their team and have him help them upscale this game and just give it to us, because that would be phenomenal. That's all people are asking for, and I think that's all they really need to do. But I will put a link in the description of this video so that you can check out the rest of it. I only showed you a few seconds of it because it's 17 minutes long just about. So if you really want to see all of it, you're more than welcome to check it out. I think it's phenomenal. The next thing on my list is just a couple of game releases. The new Paper Mario comes out tomorrow, so that should be pretty interesting. I'm going to try to either buy it digitally or sneak out and grab a copy. I tried to pre-order it, and it was going to show up on Tuesday, and I wanted to be able to play it the day it came out. So I'll probably be picking that up pretty soon, and it's not one of those I think it's going to drop in price anytime soon, because it's a Nintendo game, and they never seem to drop those prices. The next thing is Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, and if you haven't noticed, that's Harvest Moon for you. There is no numbering scheme, there's just bizarre names that confuse the hell out of everyone, and you need a wiki in order to tell which one came where in the order. This is a remake of a Game Boy Advance game that came out ages ago, and so they have lovingly taken it and upscaled it, very much like they did Link's Awakening. So if you never got a chance to play this, or you have fond memories of it, and you want to play a remastered version of it, that is out now on the Switch. But that is primarily what I had for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we get more information on the 23rd from Microsoft as far as what the heck they're doing and where their headspace is. Mostly, I think their headspace is in the cloud. Quite literally, their head is in the clouds. They want to do cloud gaming. They want to be an ecosystem. They do not want to be a console developer anymore. And I've been saying that for a long time, and nobody seems to buy it. And what they're doing right now seems to disprove it. But hopefully we'll get more on them on the 23rd, and then we'll get more from Sony in early August, because they're supposed to have an event in early August as well. And they've done this all along. They followed shortly after Microsoft. When Microsoft gets a big windfall, they come in and just try to like clip their legs out again. So we're going to see if they pull it off. But hopefully I'll have more for you next week and some the week after that, as both Microsoft and Sony throw more information into the pool. But until next time, take care of each other, stay safe, and until next time, I will see you.